going? Sunny here from Sunny Snaps, Arts, Crafts and Photography. Well, I don't do photography videos, but I do photography. Well, I've been a bit slack lately, but I've got this old book. It was an Enid Blyton book that was falling apart, and I covered this with this very bright paper. I have no idea when, a long time ago, and I decided I'd recover it, and I'm going to make it into a photo album / journal of my kids when they were from about birth to teenagers, photos of the two of them together. So it's a sort of a special book for myself. So I covered this material here. I did that last night, and I've put that on with fabric glue. That stuck really well. So I put one piece on the inside and a piece on the outside that's folded over here. I'm not too worried about these bits because once I put the signature in and cover all this, you won't notice that at all anyway. So this is a paper I've picked out to cover the actual front and back. So I thought I'd do one side on video so you can see how I do it, and I can't say I'll always do it the same way. I'm still learning as well, so I do bits and pieces different ways. I'm going to use Mod Podge to put this on, and then I'll probably spray it later with a spray so that it's not sticky. Sometimes Mod Podge can end up a bit sticky, although I've got this matte one here and I've used it a couple of times and it's been pretty good, so we'll see how it turns out. So I put a piece of Glad wrap on top of my bottle so it doesn't dry out. I've had this bottle for quite a long time, so that's worked quite well. And all I'm going to do is paint this on, and this is an old paintbrush that I use that's been around, so it's my glue one now, and then I'll wash it out after I use it every time, and just use this one for glue. I want to make sure I cover the whole area so that it there's no blank spots, because if you have blank spots, that's when you'll get bubbles, funny things happening. Now the temperature's still pretty hot here, although it's a little bit cooler than yesterday, thank goodness. So just make sure I've covered the whole lot. I'll flatten this out. Excuse my clearing my throat. I've got a bit of a cold happening. Just going to lay that piece of paper flat on there. Get a bone folder. Basically start from the middle and push it out. And that should make sure it's stuck well all over, but it'll also pushes the glue out to the edges so you don't get fat gluey pieces. Because I've covered this once already, the cover underneath is quite thick on the edges, but I'm going to go with it, and I will probably end up putting some corner protectors, those metal ones on the corners. So I want to make sure the cover lasts. There we go. That should be pretty good, pretty well stuck. And I'm definitely going to cover these really bright stripes. Now when I cut it, I've got quite a bit of overlap here, and I'm thinking I'm just going to cut these corners down a bit so there's not too much extra on the corners, but I'm going to keep quite a bit there. I want to keep this quite big because I'm then going to put another piece on the inside, but I may not want to go all the way to the edge, if that makes sense. So pull the corner up here. Make sure I'm on camera. Sorry, I keep going off the camera. My desk. Oh. Pull pull that bit over there and squish that in. So I'm fold it all first and make sure it all sitting in the right place before I to push that down. Make sure that goes over there. And then I have a feeling we're going to have a bit of a gap here. Yes, we are. So the way to avoid that is to pull that back out. But I don't think I will. I think what I'll do is put it over, and I will end up covering that when I cover the inside. So I don't really need these big flaps, but I'm going to leave them there anyways. And what I like about doing this way is it means you make sure your corners are nicely covered. They'll last longer. But then you have that option, where you end up getting that little gap there. But I'm going to leave it that way for today. There's a bit of a bug, something on there. It's pretty stuck by the looks of it. Whoops. A bit too far down there. So just going to paint this over the edges of the actual book first, because I've got a whole stack of glue on there. But I need to stick down the corners first, so I get these corners covered. Make sure I'm on camera there. Yep. These corners covered. Make sure you come right out to the edges. Don't want to get too much glue on my face, because otherwise I'll end up getting glue all over the front of it. And even though I'm going to Mod Podge over it later, don't want it sticking everywhere. So there we go, gone right to the edge. Corner first. Push that down on those edges, and usually your book's not going to be as thick as mine. Mine's just extra thick because I've already got a cover on there that I've done. So we'll just go with it today. See how we go. Pull that nice and tight and pull that over. Push that down. Just make sure I've got some glue on the outsides here. If you put a bit of extra glue on, your paper makes the paper quite easy to mold it into shape, but you do have to be a bit careful, because then it's also makes it easier to tear it, because it's juicy. The wetter it is, the more easier it is to tear it. So there we go. That's nice and neat. Let's push that down. Pull this one over. There we go. That actually turned out quite neat. I'm really happy with that. And I'm going to leave those extra bits of glue there. And I'm just going to paint over these edges here so they're all covered in Mod Podge, because that'll help protect the paper. Although they'll be covered eventually anyway when I put a cover on the inside. So haven't worked out what I'm doing that with yet. But I'll cover all of that. Doesn't hurt to put a little bit extra on the material. Keeping it strong. There we go. And then that's just going to have to go and dry. I don't want to work on the other side yet, because I'm going to end up moving it all around. So that's how it looks on the front. I really like that paper. It's gorgeous. And that, again, I've had that paper for a very long time, so I don't know where that's come from even. I'll leave that video there, and I'll get the other side done, and then I'll come back later with the next video and sew in the signatures. Alrighty, cheers, thanks for watching, catch you later, bye.